Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the LSGT series over here for round 3 at Watkins Glen. This time with a blank Watkins Glen race. Currently taking a look at the standings. Violet Sky and Intoxicated. Two of the Porsches are in the lead so far. Jimmy Fuego in 3rd and MTL in 4th. Blue in 5th. And Danny also Jake Conzi, all 4 tied for 6th. Pluto, of course, with no points. But we have another bunch of other drivers with no points, and those being 6 other drivers. Let's see if they can get themselves a point hit today at Watkins Glen. Keep an eye out for the next 2 races that we have: the Lyrical Records Daytona race and the big one of them all, the Nordschleife Crown, which we'll see 5 laps around the Nordschleife, and we'll find out in those 5 laps who's gonna be the winner at the Nordschleife. And it is not just an easy thing. We're talking about the whole green hell itself. That is the racetrack. It is not an easy thing, and we'll see who's going to be the winner there, because that is one of, if not the biggest race in LRS GT. About to be taking a look at the qualifying session here at Watkins Glen. Here we go. The 69 of Slaughternaut coming out. And there's also been some thingies about like other drivers in different series, so we'll see, or like different cars joining in GT, meaning that the car that Slaughternaut drives, the Nissan, will be going away next season, and the BMWs of Artie and Smokey are also going to be going away next season, and they're going to be replaced by Audi and Aston Martin, as the Nissan is not able to compete, and the BMW, same story, also not able to compete. And so instead we'll have Audi and Aston Martin join the LRS GT grid. So looking at Jimmy Fuego also getting ready, and Sona starting her lap. Violet Sky's Team Story and Blake Easyoy. And Sona will be racing the Aston Martin. And Violet Sky will just be racing the Porsche still. But Blake Easyoy will be racing the Audi. And there has been some testing going on with the new Audi car. And it is pretty much able to compete with all the other drivers, so there won't be a too dominant car or a too slow of a car. So they perfectly fit within the whole pack. And that's what I like. That's exactly what I want in LRS. Just cars that are close to each other and able to compete against one another, because different winners is different people happy. Of course, it's like that. Looking at JKR, and now an intoxicated JKR's teammate coming over to start his lap, I think. I cannot tell where he is. Oh no, he's just coming out of the last section of the boot, and now he's gonna come over to the straight. Yeah, now he's going over here, and now he's gonna go left to right, and then come over to the finish line, start his lap. A save for JKR right there. Both the Acuma Motorsports drivers in unison. We're gonna saw now crossing the line first. And let's see what time she'll put. 1:48.272, but Violet Sky putting a pole time of 1:46.086, completely overshadowing the Nissan. Making that the pole time here. And also the time for everyone else to beat if they want to get up top. Jimmy Fuego definitely wants it. Of course, he won at Bahrain last time, or he won at Bahrain in Formula. Got podium at Bahrain in GT, and now I think he wants more. Of course, Jim Fuego came from, he was at Italy, at Imola. He was racing there, and he ended up in 9th position. Which is a really nice thing to see. And JKR, of course, he has to soon go. It's actually nice that he's in the US because he literally just has to take a plane like a bit further in south, and he's already at the place he has to go. And that's at Road Atlanta that he has to be at next for a stock car race. Meanwhile, Jim Fuego doing his last race for this week, or for this day. And afterwards, of course, he has to go to he has to go all the way to Canada, so he could literally take a motel here and relax. Because right after he has to go back to the US and then go to Daytona. So it's actually a very chill session for all of the GT drivers and Formula drivers. So they pretty much just have to like skip a country. They just have to hop to another country real quick and then come back. Meanwhile, there's some drivers, for example, like the prototype drivers. They're actually also in the US region, like very far in the South America, however. But like they're pretty much in Brazil, so they just have to skip a few countries and then they're in Brazil. They could go back a few countries and they're back in the US. Although for prototype round 4 is gonna be a bit different. That's where a chunk of the drivers are gonna go to Bahrain. Looking at Blue the Demon currently in 3rd and MTL in 1st. Ricky in 2nd. A Ferrari up on the top step now. Now I am interested. Now I would like to see how this is gonna end up. A Ferrari on podium. This is gonna be interesting to watch. Let's see how Ricky will be doing here today. Looking at the Toxicate all the way in 11th. Meanwhile, his teammate Violet Sky drowning in the midfields over there, far back in the back markets with the Nissans. And a couple of the other Mercedes. Meanwhile, JKR is doing all fine with the Mercedes in 6th. Kanzi currently in 12th. And Pluto in 4th. It's like the tables have turned here. Jimmy Fuego, the driver who ended up 3rd on the podiums, all the way in 15th. And even worse, Violet Sky, the race winner at Bahrain, all the way in 17th in Watkins Glen here in the qualifying session. But that's just quali. Shit could hit the fan throughout the race, so let's see how they'll be doing. But a great start at the beginning of the race. That could secure your entire race for today, pretty much. Of course, this is Blue's first race for the day, and he's going to do another race later on today, doing the prototype. Metro already had his first race as he was in Italy, and now he's here in the US. And Metro actually got himself some points in Formula, excuse me. The 21 actually got himself into 7th place, so he had an alright result here. And really nice to see that the 21 wants to do more than that. He wants to get higher. Looking back at blue, currently in third, it looks very solid for the McLarens here today. As of course, Blue the Demon, the driver who won the first race in GT at Mugello, here to possibly take another spot in Watkins Glen, possibly take another win or a podium, depending on how it goes. And MTL, the driver who ended up all the way in 20th in Bahrain, now pole position as we have less than half a minute here at Watkins Glen. Time is taken. This has to be D-lap for multiple drivers, including the 71 that we're looking at here, all the way in 18th. But I do not blame him because, of course, it's the Nissans that are not that great. Meanwhile, Artie putting that BMW in 5th, and maybe he has it for today. Maybe he could do some great things with that car today. As the qualifying session here at Watkins Glen comes to an end, we're going to look at 20 more cars crossing the line. Looking at the 71 for Stasia right behind Jimmy Fuego. Let's see if he could get himself a proper run here and get himself from 18th possibly to 17th or 16th. If fast enough, maybe 15th if he gets ahead of Jimmy Fuego. That'll be incredible to see if he could do that. Looking at Kanzi coming over to the start-finish line. Let's see where he will place that vehicle. No problem from him. How about Slaughterlord? How about Artie? How about Violet Sky back there? No problem from either of them. And it's has to get it in the 11th. Pluto, another driver in the top 5, another Ferrari. This looks like it's going to be a great day for Ferrari here at Watkins Glen as Pluto crosses the line here and he gets himself into 4th spot. Meanwhile, Ricky in 2nd. This could be a great day as we're going to get a classic. We're going to get a classic battle here. We're going to get McLaren versus Ferrari. A very, very classic battle. Ferrari versus McLaren. You cannot get more classic than that. It is a rivalry that's been going on for ages. Now we're going to see it get absolutely heated here today. Let's take a look. MTL, Ricky, Blue, Pluto, and Artie making that your top 5 here today. So go green, 12 laps at Watkins Glen. Into turn 1. Looking great so far for MTL. Meanwhile, Artie getting ahead of JKR. Kanzi getting ahead of Intoxicated. Lots of overtakings here and there. Luckily, no hits or crashing. All still solid. And that McLaren is pulling away slowly but surely. Now Intoxicated getting ahead of Kanzi. Lots of drivers going on the outside, including Demi right there. Hit the wall. And now this could be a big opportunity as they're trying to go free wide over there. Both the Lamborghinis and JKR. Now Intoxicated had to back out. Had to be careful with Demi right there. Looking at Blake so far. All the way in 20th at the back of the field with the Nissan GTR. And it's looking great for Audi here today. Metro now on the inside. And does get ahead of JKR. And Metro has been on an absolute streak. This man knows how to overtake so well as JKR gets side to side with the 21. And he does get ahead over here. Meanwhile, Kanzi might try to get two birds with one stone. And you definitely see Intoxicated trying to think of the same way. He definitely gets Demi behind him, I think. Meanwhile, Blake getting ahead of Extasia here. He's going side to side into the next turn. And the 39 has the 71 in his rearview mirror. Great move right there from Blake. Is about to go into lap 2. 10 more laps to go here. About to go free wide into the turn 1 over there with Jimmy Fuego, Slanon, and Renacci. Got a bit heated. Reina backed out. Knew that it could go south if not careful. Intoxicated currently in 10th. You know, Renacci having a little bit of difficulty here trying to get ahead of Blake Izioy. Struggling big time. And all three Nissans are really having a difficult time at the moment. Smoker getting overtaken by Danny Alice here. But now the 95 could try to push. Of course, this will be the last time he'll be racing the BMW this season. As next season he's going to be racing the Aston Martin. And it's going to be the DBR9S or DBRS9. This blue gets really wide over there. And Blue currently in a bit of a Ferrari sandwich with the McLaren. Going to lap 3. MTL currently completely comfortable up in front. No issues in the slightest. Meanwhile, the other McLaren in the back, Demi, getting ahead of Kanzi here. Well, there's one McLaren getting ahead of the Ferrari. But that Ferrari also fighting back, and there's no other than Kanzi. Blake trying to stay and get ahead of Slaughter out here. Does get it successfully on the inside, and now Blake way earlier on the gas than Slaughter could. And behind Jimmy Fuego at the moment. Let's see how the 39 will be doing against the Mercedes. None of them has been able to get close to the Mercedes in the slightest. Meanwhile, Bernacci and Slaughter side to side over there. And it does get it to the wall. Luckily, has the car under control, but this could give Demi an opportunity. As those two go side to side now. The 77 getting ahead of the 16, and this is going to be devastating for Intoxicated, especially after that podium in Bahrain. This has to be a gut punch. And Pluto getting ahead of Blue. Well, Blue and Pluto side to side. Onto the uphill part here. Artie right behind. He is taking a look at the battle here between those two. And Blue keeping his position. Meanwhile, polluting it in the wall over there. And Artie looking to overtake. Let's see if the BMW can get ahead of the Ferrari here today. Oh, they almost made contact back there. Side to side, going into the entry of the boot. And Pluto holding back Artie, but Artie's not gonna give up. Still close to him, side to side, these two go. Looking at Shiny, but we can still see the battle over there. Looks like Pluto held back Artie for the time being, but it's not gonna stop the 11 from attacking again. Blue in third, and he could try to overtake that Ferrari here. MTL already over 7.5 seconds in the lead. That man is completely out of control. MTL showing that he is more than just a race car driver. He shows that he is a champion contending driver, a champion worthy driver. He wants to show that to the world here today at LRS GT. He wants to make a statement. And I am absolutely adoring it. I love it. I love when drivers go that far. Demi now in 10th as he gets closer and closer to the 93 of Ellie. Gets really wide though. Joins back in on the track, and now this could give Kanzi an opportunity here. He's going to lap 6. Demi the 77, close to Ellie, and he has also been doing very good in stock car 2, and he does get really close. Demi ended up third in on home soil at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And of course, he'll be going over there again for Road Atlanta. He'll be going to Atlanta again for Road Atlanta. So he'll be back at home soil again. Currently, he just simply went up north and he's now in New York here for Watkins Glen. He's going to go back south again to Atlanta and race over there. And then afterwards, for GT, he pretty much has to stay here. He literally just has to skip a state real quick. Skip a state again. Because first he's going to do Daytona. The local records Daytona race. In GT. And afterwards he's going to do the Buckshot Bros 100 at the Brickyard at Indianapolis. After. The calendar will also possibly see a little bit of changing here and there, as the prototype series will have less races, just due to the sheer amount of racing that is in LRS GT or in prototype, and running a schedule like that must be extremely tiring. So to make it a bit easier, as Ellie locked up over there, make it a bit easier for everyone else, decided to reduce the amount of races we have in LRS GT or in LRS prototype. I keep saying GT because we're literally looking at GT here. And both of the Porsches together. Violet Sky and Intoxicated. Coming together, and let's see what these two could be doing here today. Of course, it is not looking good for any of the Porsche drivers. Kanzi overtakes Demi here and pushes that McLaren out of the top 10. Meanwhile, the Porsches coming together. And now they're going to put pressure on the Ferrari and the McLaren ahead of them. Oh, it's a big pack over there. Bunch of cars bunched up over there. There's a lot of opportunities here and there, especially with Danny Allister, who tries to get two birds with one stone, side to side with Violet Sky behind Kanzi and behind Intoxicated. Jimmy Fuego front row seats also gets overtaken by Smokera here. And now both of the Mercedes fighting for their spots and now trying to get overtaken by the Porsche and BMW here. Yes, Smokera fights back as much as possible. Danny Allister not able to take that spot away from Violet Sky, gave up and is now behind the 94. Meanwhile, the 95 and the 32 are not going to go down without a fight. It's still going side to side, but now Jimmy Fuego ahead of Smokero. They're gonna smoke here so far. The 95 in 16th. That BMW is not doing great here today. Meanwhile, the other BMW is doing fantastic here today. As we have a few more laps to go, more than half of the race already led by none other than MTL, who's already over 10 seconds in the lead. That man is blasting away with the McLaren like nobody's business. Jimmy and Danny side to side. Both of the Mercedes. But Jimmy trying to keep that 32 ahead of the 17 as much as possible. On the inside, Danny Alistair goes. Jimmy Fuego still side to side with the 17, but now Danny ahead of Jimmy. Meanwhile, Smokero also taking the opportunity. Sees there's a problem and takes advantage of the situation right there. Lap 9 out of 12. Meanwhile, Blue able to go for an overtake soon as he gets closer and closer to the Ferrari of Ricky. Both of the Porsches racing together, and let's see what they could do here today. As MTL is about to cross the line soon. And going into lap 10, MTL will be going. And 3 more laps remaining here at Watkins Glen. Oh, Ellie locked up over there. Meanwhile, Demi has a bigger chance here. And the 77, as I said, is doing fine in stock car. Got himself a podium in 3rd position in his home soil, and got a 5th at Michigan. Here in GT, however, he's not been doing that solid. No, he's actually been doing very solid. Then we got 3rd, but at Bahrain, it was a hellhole for him. And at least he gets a point here. Or it could go south and he gets no points. But let's hope he does get points. Jimmy currently is 16th, another great day for the Mercedes drivers. And me with everyone, even with JKR, who all the way in 8th position, as opposed to top 10s or such. I mean, he is in the top 10, but mostly he will be in the top 5 or such. But so yeah, it's a very unfortunate day for the Mercedes drivers here today. As there's 2 more laps remaining here at Watkins Glen. Ellie again locks up an allocation. This could give Demi yet another chance. But it feels more like Ellie's drip feeding Demi right here. just drip feeding opportunities. Meanwhile, JKR getting closer to Metro, as there was a couple of times that the timer went yellow. Excuse me. So we're waving a white flag. One more lap to go. MTL over 10 seconds in the lead already. Multiple seconds, in fact. As Ricky is still in second. So it's going to be a great day for Ferrari. After they get themselves a 2-4. All on the right lane today. Now, will this be the lap that Demi could do it? Or will Demi stick with a 10th? As the other GTR drivers come over to the finish line to finish the final lap. Of course, a big dud for Nissan today, but a great day for BMW as Artie is in top 5. Now Demi has a chance. Will he go for it or will he stay behind? As I said, it has to be now or never. It looks like Demi won't do it. It will be never. And although that McLaren is not having a great day, although Demi's McLaren might not be having a great day, MTL's McLaren will have a fantastic day as he goes over to the last turn right here, as we are waving the black and white checkered flag here at Watkins Glen. MTL over 14 seconds. He takes the victory here at Watkins Glen at exactly 25 minutes. That's insane. Ricky coming home in second, making that the first podium for Ferrari. And Blue coming home in third, making that his second podium. Pluto in fourth, and Artie giving BMW their very first top 5, an unexpected top 5 right here. Shiny 6, Metro 7, JKR in 8th. Ellie managed to stay in 9th, and Demi in 10th. Making that the top 10 here. So the other cars coming over to the finish line. What a race this was. What a race. As I said, MTL, Ricky, Blue, Pluto, Artie, Shiny, Metro, JKR, Ellie, and Demi. Now being the top 10 here at Watkins Glen. As I say again, I always say do this. MTL, Ricky Blue, Pluto, Artie, Shani, Metro, JKR, Ellie, and Demi. And fastest lap was made by MTL. And as we're currently taking a look at the standings here. Now this gets really interesting here. We have MTL now in the lead with a total of 23 points. Blue in second with 18. Violet Sky and Violet Sky and Intoxicated both tied with 15. Pluto, the first Ferrari driver, or the Ferrari driver up top here today, with 12 points under his name. Meanwhile, we also have drivers like Jamie Fuego in 6, JKR in 7, along with Ricky, both tied. Demi and 9 and Kazi in 10, making it the top 10. Meanwhile, the bottom 10. Of course, now there's 5 drivers who's already skyrocketed himself with 6 points out of that bottom 5 pit. It's about to go next to Daytona for the local records Daytona race. And then we're going to go to the big one, the North Schleife Crown.